So I thought today I'd just share a few thoughts on two things related to our theme, two topics related to our theme, or our keynote, I mean. These are pure vision and group purpose. And so I'd like to speak today for about 8 or 10 minutes on these two themes, and then to lead us in a visualization on the intuition. Just to restate our keynote, for those who may not have heard it yet. The keynote for this conference is Let the illuminating energy of pure reason produce complete freedom from glamour and reveal the love of divine relationship. Now, the energy of pure reason, which this keynote references, is also known as the intuition, and it exists beyond the realm of form altogether. It is of a very high order, this energy, and it is not easily contacted, at least not by humanity. But when it is contacted, it reveals the underlying divine relationship between every form and its inner life. This then releases that subject from the bonds of glamour, and it does so by granting the faculty of perfect sight, whereby the real in all things is seen. And with this type of sight, the individual is no longer deluded by the appearance of separation, which I'm sure we all know very well. He or she can then walk within this world of appearances, yet mentally and in consciousness maintain a link with that reality, which is, as we know, ever present yet imperfectly expressed in forms. And this dual activity is one which every disciple, spiritual seeker, must learn to master, for this is what makes him or her a light bearer and a custodian of the light, responsible for its right expression through human hearts and minds. Another central theme in this year's keynote is love, for it is the love of divine relationship which the pure reason of the intuition reveals. Esoterically, love is concerned with the basic relationship of spirit and matter, and of the processes and evolution of all kingdoms in nature. We also refer to it as the second aspect of divinity. It is the preeminent creative and building force on the planet, and it is also that agency which ceaselessly coheres forms together, building always upon that prototype which we call the will of God. In the life of the human being, however, love, of course, takes on a more specific meaning. And though we often relate love to sentiment, the Tibetan gives a definition of love which I think is very germane to our keynote. He says that love is perceptive understanding, the ability to recognize that which has produced an existing situation. And this definition of love in terms of sight or perception, of intellect or knowing, and recognition of cause is, I think, worth some careful consideration. By defining love as perceptive understanding, one implies that love is brought about through the faculty of the intellect and the employment of the mind as an organ of vision. And it is good to recognize that the acquisition of knowledge through reason and sight is always an inherently bridging act. The accurate perception of knowledge brings into right relationship some aspect of truth, which is always present even if unexpressed, and its concrete expression within the human mind. Alice Bailey writes that an idea is a being incorporeal, which has no subsistence by itself, but gives figure and form to shapeless matter, and is its cause. The ability of the human being to bridge in the realm of the mind, to bring together in the realm of ideas, and to relate through perception and knowing. This is why love, knowing, and reason are all synonymous from the esoteric perspective. The true perceptive understanding to which the Tibetan refers, though, goes even beyond the exercise of the intellect as we understand it, existing within the concrete mind. True understanding requires knowledge of that which literally stands under appearances. Esoterically, appearances is the world of form, and it includes the concrete mind. The soul, and so in order to develop the true understanding, we must go beyond the concrete mind. And it's the soul that possesses a number of faculties which extend beyond the concrete mind in all directions. And to express love as perceptive understanding, one must draw upon those faculties of the soul that can bring about this right perception. It's good to remember that this world of meaning which the soul brings about, it lives in us. It's not somewhere outside of the human kingdom. For all of us, we are souls, and it is the soul that is that part of us that is without sin, because it is without separation, and which knows itself as one with the group, and so can function in the world of meaning, the world of causes, and also vision that reality when it can extend itself upwards towards the realm of pure spirit, and also at the same time downwards and anchoring that vision. Pure vision, or the intuition, is the ability to apprehend truth directly as it is and not clouded by the vesture of the mind. In the true intuitive, the mind remains an organ of vision and can interpret and bring down that which is formless into some form. And this mind is transcended only because it has been developed to its full extent. This is the highest type of creative work available to the human being. We are told that there have been, throughout antiquity and up to the present day, groups of disciples trained in this art of intuitive perception and its expression in the world of human thought. Such difficult work is facilitated when undertaken as part of a group. Some of us may know that esoteric groups are sometimes outwardly coordinated, but often remain affiliated only through their unity of intention upon what we call the higher levels of the mental plane. It is this group intention which unites the members and makes them a group, and it is this purpose which they work out through the creative will, the application of their creative will. Certain spiritual energies are of too high an order to work out through individuals alone, and so they require groups. As we know, in the coming Aquarian age, some of these very vaulted energies are seeking expression through humanity. And so, with the inpouring of what esotericism calls the seventh ray, which is the ray of spiritual expression and also of group consciousness, we are seeing not just the um, not just the exaltation of the individual, but also the importance of group movements in all fields of human endeavor, and of group movements towards reality, towards the light, and towards goodwill, towards justice, really towards the good. Um, so the visualization, which we will shortly perform, it takes a group approach to evoking the intuition. To work as an interpreter and transmitter of the intuition, of course, takes many years, if not lifetimes, of preparation and training. And so though we may not be trained intuitives, the use of the creative imagination is an effective tool for bridging towards this potential and future reality. Also, as a group, we can make such an approach. We should also keep in mind that the Taurus full moon, which is the very highest point of the spiritual year, is less than 24 hours, just over 24 hours from now, occurring tomorrow evening. It is at this time that the energies of illumination are made the most readily available to humanity. And so, without any further ado, we will continue now with a visualization on the triple light of the intuition. Visualize the group standing together upon the mental plane. Each arrive bearing that which is their contribution to the whole. Extend your love to each and all within the group. Now, see the group as a golden triangle, composed of 3 lights at each of the points. This triangle is a symbol of the triple self, represented on the mental plane by the 3 aspects of mind. The lowest light is the light of the personal self. It is a diffused light and surrounds the head of each within the group. Gradually, see the diffused light cohere to a point of focus within the head. There, the middle light appears. This is the light of the soul, manifesting within and through the personality. See the lights focused within the head of each grow. These lights soon extend beyond the head. They blend and merge until only a group light is seen. The group light grows and glows and becomes like a radiant sun. See now at the center of that sun, a point of dark blue, a small indigo disk. This is the symbol of the path, or the door into the kingdom of God. Standing before this door, the group perceives the angel of the presence, the embodiment of the inner Christ or soul. The group, together with the angel, sounds the mantra. Within the circle of the will of God I stand, without the radius of the world of glamour I take my place, and there I stand. Before the open door that just reveals a different lighted way, I take my stand. Before the presence, I will take my place, and there will firmly stand, and standing, see. Standing thus as a group, united with the angel, and before the open door, a greater light can now be known. This is the universal light which the presence emits. This presence no eye has seen, yet its light emerges from out the indigo disk. This light can be perceived within the light which the angel radiates. Three lights now blend and merge. The light of the personal self focused in the mind, the light of the soul focused in the angel, and the universal light which the presence emits. This is the triple light of the intuition, the light of revelation. The group stands within this triple light, and standing, sees. The group now turns its back on that greater light and refocuses its consciousness within the light of the group's soul. Pause for a moment of reflection and creative thought. Recognize that there is no darkness and no fog. There is no night nor day. There are no storms nor peace, no rest nor strife, only the changeless love of God, which works towards good. Together, sound the Om. Om.